The Sciforror Film Podcast. Hello and welcome to the Sciforror Film Podcast. Here we are again, happy as can be, all good friends and elephants. Now, hello, Scott.
Hello, Father.
Hello. We are here once again in the wilds of Essex. This week we're actually just concentrating on short films.
In the wilds of Essex. I just imagine a David Attenborough program.
And here we see the magnificent white van man in his full glory. This week we're doing just short films, yes. And we have 5 this week. Some of them are quite interesting, sort of interesting things about them and stuff.
Yes.
So a couple of sci-fi and 3 horror.
Yes.
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 So, shall we start with the first one?
Well, that would be a good place to start, yes.
If we have to start somewhere, we might as well start there.
Yes, that is very good.
The very first film is a science fiction film from 2021 called Red Light. Now, this is an eco sci-fi film made with the help of Dos Torres VFX. It's a Hernan and Gabriel Oliver film. The sound is done by Nicholas Feldman. Composting. No, compost. Oh, compost. Oh, I can't say it.
Compositions.
Composed. I don't know. Color and stuff.
Compositions.
That's the one. Color and hit that sort of thing by Marcus. Oh, Brotzen. I can't speak. Render poster was Marino Gonzalez. I'm CGI by Hernan Gabriel Oliver. I think I'm going to put my teeth on holiday and see if I can borrow some off of the neighborhood dog. The cast is Elizabeth Hammond and George Ledoux. So the synopsis is: an astronaut remembers her last days on Earth, a world devastated by climate change and global warming.
Yes.
Yes. So what are we doing?
Before we start, I would like to say, it says on the beginning of it that it's been put into, or it's been chosen for a lot of film festivals. It has actually won a couple.
Yep.
It is a very big endorsement for global warming.
That's not the right word.
It's not a word I mean, but
I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's sort of advertising for what would happen if we don't play.
Yeah.
I do like it. I like the graphics fit. I like the sound. Quite a good, very good balance, obviously, because there's not a lot of speech between the sort of the speech and the natural sounds in it, and the fact it flows quite well with all the different sounds and the way it's edited. I get the fact that it's meant to be having this message behind it. It seemed like it went on for a long time.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I think. Yeah, I do kind of know what you mean, but I mean, it's an important message, and I think it's It's a very well made film, and it uses great. There's great use of imagery in it to get over the message. There's a good mix of real and CGI stuff. It's very quiet and still, and it's very good use of like the minimal music and that sort of thing. I think I know what you mean, but I think the message is such that it might need a bit of. I could see that there were people. Some people might turn off partway through because it does go. It is a little bit long.
Yeah, for me, I think it needed some speech or something just to break it up a little bit.
Yeah, but as I say, I think it's a very well made film, and it's a very good. It gets the message across well.
Yes, as I say, it's a very good way it's done. The message is done. I think for me personally, I think if it just had something to break up the video, so it didn't seem like it was such a long break between things happening.
Yeah, no, I do.
It would have kept people's attention. Or it definitely would have kept my attention.
Yeah, I do know what you mean, and I can see what you're saying. I think it's a difficult thing, really, because if you've got an important message to get across, you want to try and get the whole message across, and you want it to have impact. And it's the problem with global warming and climate change and all that kind of thing is it's not something that has a. If you were doing something about dangerous driving or things like that, you can have short, sharp shock things that have a big impact in a short period of time. But with things like global warming and climate change, it's very difficult to do that. It's very difficult to have those short, sharp sort of things to get it across. It takes a bit of time to explain or to show what the full effect of it is. But yeah, no, I do agree with you. I think it's an excellently made film. Maybe a little over long.
Also, even if it was just like halfway through, a little bit into it, the speech she does to say how she remembers things and what happened, what like a little bit of explanation of like what had happened to the humans and what had gone on and what had happened to the population. I think just a little bit of that sort of that silence break up. So the music was fine. I think it just because of the fact it was just music.
Yeah,
they just had a little bit of speech. It would have been a great film.
I think my problem with this sort of thing is that whilst I agree it's really important to get the message across, and it's very important to get the message out to people as much as you can, I always wonder how much people who don't take it, who won't take any notice of the message, would bother to watch the film. So the people that you're aiming the film at are not going to be the sort of people who are going to be bothered to watch it.
No, it needs to be almost a sort of shock film to grab everyone's attention.
Yeah,
not be targeted at the audience that's already got the attention of the subject.
It's difficult, really, to do that, to get it right. I think they did well, but I'm not quite sure it's right completely.
I loved. Oh, sorry. I loved some of the images that they've used in it. Some of the ways, I know that obviously a lot of it's CGI, but the way that they've done, the angles were done on the CGI and stuff like that. And the way that certain things were done, I think, were very, very well done.
Yeah,
I just think there was something missing for me.
Yeah, no, I understand. I know what you're saying. It's a pity, but if you go and watch it, people go and watch it and make your own minds up. And if you can donate to help the research and the stuff into getting climate change reversed or stalled or whatever.
On the start of the video, they have all the charities basically you go to, and on the link they have on YouTube, they've got loads of all the links for the different charities that you can donate to and information.
Absolutely. Okay, the second film is a film called The Manor. This is a film by Ridder Films, who we've done a few by before. The interesting thing about this is that this film was made purely to show the concept behind the story for them to pitch it to try and see about making a full feature film.
Oh, okay.
So this short film effectively is just the basic story that they want to flesh out into making into an entire feature film.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know that, but yeah.
So it's made by Blake Ridder, as always, in association with Lucas A. Ferrara. Cast is Kim Spearman, Louis James, Sarah Alexander Marks, and Ru Sheng. The synopsis says, an American film crew believe they have found the perfect location when they are led to a Victorian manor house. We know what you're thinking, but this isn't your typical ghost story.
No, I actually will say, okay, yeah, there were typical bits in it.
Yeah.
You have in a typical horror films. But there were moments where it was almost like that real life moment where he, like, obviously there's a part of it where he goes up to a door and it's quite spooky and he turns around and goes, oh, I'm not walking in there.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's the type of film that you need to have.
Absolutely. I mean, as always with Ridder films, it looks great.
Yes.
The cinematography is always good. The acting's always pretty good. A few minor moments where you could kind of go, it's a little bit, but it's very odd film in lots of ways. Bits where you've got the same person watching themselves and things like that, which is really kind of, you're not quite sure what's going on there.
Yeah, and and as well, what I liked about it is it was very hard to tell with certain bits of editing when it's like when one of the characters was walking down a staircase.
Yeah.
The editing for that, I think, was very well done. It was very disorientating to watch.
Yes.
And so there was a lot of it. It threw me because I was expecting like you do with horror films, you sit there and go, "Oh, it's gonna be a jump scare. This is going to happen," but it wasn't. It was very. It led you down one path and then sort of gone. No, we're going to go this way now. And I love the way that it was done. That I did love as well the fact that a lot, like with a lot of films that we watch, got these odd little funny moments in them. Now, like this saying, they do this whole film, they do this whole bit, they find this perfect room for they're doing. There's two people talking, and we can use it for this thing, and one of them's only interested in using it for TikTok videos.
Yeah,
I just loved it. But
I mean, I really like the way they kind of built up the atmosphere really well as it went on. It became more and more kind of like edgy and odd as it went on.
Yeah.
And that was really well done. I love it. I can't wait to see the full film.
Yes, I will say as well. What I love, what I did about this, the way that certain bits were filmed. Like they make the comments about certain things, and like at the beginning they make the whole stereotypical. Oh, when you're looking at a manor house, you can see a ghostly figure.
Yeah.
But obviously, then later on, they do an image of looking out of the window, and I thought, I actually sat there at the beginning, sat there at the end of it. I was like, I have to go back.
Yeah,
I have to go. And I did. I went back a couple of times just to look at it, just to see if I was missing something.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that it's made me do that. Like, normally, I can sit there and watch a film and go, "That's all right, never mind, I'll move on." But the fact that this is coming to me, and I needed to go back. I needed to check it. I needed to make it sure.
And I'd say, as I say, I think it's going to make a great full-length feature film, as long as they don't kind of lose direction. They don't just pad it out, because the problem comes if they have stuff in there that's just to make it long enough to be a feature film, it's going to lose some of the atmosphere.
Yeah, I do agree. The fact that if they put it just to make the time up, I think it will lose something. If they can keep the atmosphere, keep the suspense the whole way through it, I think it's going to be an amazing feature.
Absolutely, I can't wait to see.
Yeah,
thanks for get it up. Okay, the third film is another horror film. This is called They Hear It from 2021, a Julian Terry film. Now, I know that name, but I don't know why. I don't know if we've done one before.
I see even the production company that uses it, Nightlight Pictures, sound familiar to me. And
Yeah,
did the same thing. It's been bugging me.
I don't know. But it was written and directed by Julian Terry. I didn't really find a lot else out about that, to be honest.
No.
But there you go. So the synopsis says, some sounds only children can hear. Da, da, da. Now, I know you have a problem sometimes with horror films that are based around children because you have this whole parental thing.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, especially, this is going to make me sound like a really good parent. It's only been really lately, it's been the last couple of years where I've watched horror films, especially with kids in it, and I've gone, oh, this is a bit weird. But
Yeah.
like, when they were younger, it didn't seem to bother me as much. But now they're getting to like teenage sort of age, it's bothering me a lot. I don't know why.
Weird. But I mean, I think this is, considering it's a nighttime thing and all that sort of stuff, I think it's got a great look. The cinematography, the lighting, the effects are all done really, really well. And the atmosphere build up on it is brilliant.
I will say, it does say on the synopsis of YouTube that to get the full effect of it, you need to wear headphones. Now, I actually tested this out. Now, I don't normally do it. I normally, so when I'm sitting there doing the films, I sit there watching just the laptop, just so or so. But I thought this one, you know what, I will. I watched some of it without the headphones, and I think there was certain bits I was missing, and I could feel myself kind of missing bit. Then when I played it through my headset, or my headphones, there were certain noises that, because obviously they have to play for a different frequency to go for headphones, you start picking up.
Yeah.
I think it's very well done, the fact that they've thought that into it as well.
Yeah. And this again is another one that apparently they want to try and develop into a full feature film. And I think this would make a really good feature film because it does have that, as we've said with quite a few other films, it has that thing of being possibly the beginning of a feature film.
Yeah,
the bit before the credits when you first get introduced to the whole situation. And I think there's a jump scare in it, but I think it's done really well. And it kind of works well.
Yes,
it's not just your typical kind of something's come out of the dark. It's you know what I mean.
I think it's very well done, and I would say as well, like obviously as we said about the fact that it's around children. The two children actors in this, especially the young girl.
Yeah,
the acting from them was amazing.
It was.
I did like the editing to it as well, which I thought was very well done, especially in the forest.
Yeah,
I thought was very well done. But as I'm saying, I keep going back. I keep going back to it. The acting from this little girl was just amazing. I think just the emotion that she showed on it and the almost natural feel to it was just amazingly done.
I agree. She was fantastic. I think the whole film was great. It was really well made and really well acted, really well put together. And again, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens when they make it into a full length film.
Yes, I'm the same. The fact that I'd love to know how they're going to do this. If they're going to like what the whole premise behind it's going to be, because it just seems like such a good film as it is.
Yeah. Oh no, I agree. Okay. The fourth film is a sci-fi film. It's called The Gate. Now, this is a 2022 film from this year, apparently. It was put out on dusk, so we know dusk sometimes
adds things on when they're actually later on.
The film is done by Joyrider Films, written and directed by Matt Wettrup. Cast: John Mawson, Robert Rowe, Tryphena Russell, Ellie G. Lewis, Jonathan Andrews, Annalise Tomlinson, Leon Young, David Miles, and Elizabeth Harwood. Now, the synopsis says, a scientific advisor heads an investigation into a series of bizarre deaths that leave each victim's body horribly deformed, and soon discovers that the cause has potentially devastating consequences for us all.
Yeah.
Now, I thought it was a very well-made film, and I really liked some of the effects, especially the effects of the deformity of the bodies. They were really good. But it's a good idea, but I'm not really sure. It seemed a bit kind of laboured, a bit kind of, I don't know, something to me just didn't quite work.
Yeah, I sort of had a feel of almost, so especially with the formality of some of the creatures are sort of like Resident Evil feel, the look of
Yeah.
them. It was all down to like the medication stuff like that. But yeah, I do agree with you. It seems to be sort of missing something. I'm not too sure what.
Yeah.
Like the sound, the lighting was good, the sounds, camera work was amazing. The graphics, like you said, graphics of the way that these creatures look was there. I love the fact that they were all different shapes and sizes as well. They weren't the same
Yeah.
creature
Yeah.
or same deformity. This is another one I think could looks like it could be part of a bigger film,
Yeah, possibly.
but it does look good as it is.
Yeah, no, I like the look of the film, and I think the idea is fantastic, and it's really quite well thought out.
Yeah.
There's just something about it that didn't quite work. I don't know why.
It seemed to me as well to have a very weird message at the end of it. Like the whole, how was it? The whole sort of looking at people that buy prescription, looking at prescription drugs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where it just, I don't know. I think they seem to take something away from the film.
I'm not sure. I mean, if it was trying to put a message across that you shouldn't buy stuff off of the dark web sort of drug sites or something, then fine.
Yeah.
It didn't really put it across well enough for it to be definite.
No, it
was.
It's the fact, especially the whole way through it. It was mainly at the end where it said if you the whole way through, but it was just it seemed like sort of almost a last minute thing for it at the end.
Yeah. I wasn't sure about that one at all. I mean, it's a good film. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know.
Yeah,
it's all right. Okay, on to our fifth one. Now, this was a special one because this guy, I belong to a couple of Facebook groups that are for independent filmmakers. And this guy put this call out for people to watch and critique his new short film. So I said that we would do that. At the moment, this is actually unreleased on YouTube. It's only available for people that he gives the link to. So hopefully it will be released at some point. The film's called Only Escape. Again, 2022. It's Nobody's Entertainment is the company it's called. Made by Sean Robinson. He was the writer and the director. Music was by Mark Mullen. And the cast is Sarah Robinson and Serena Robinson.
Yes.
Now, there isn't actually a synopsis as such for this.
Synopsis,
yeah. There isn't a synopsis as such for this, but yeah, it's an interesting film because when I started watching it, I wasn't absolutely sure what was going on.
Yes.
It took me a while to kind of get into what was happening.
Mm.
And then it suddenly does a kind of weird thing where it all happens again in reverse.
Yeah.
And it starts again and happens differently.
Yeah, it confused me a lot. It's sad. It's a very odd film.
Yeah.
Get out of the way before we do though. I love that it was the standard stuff that we talk about, lighting, camera work was very well done, especially the fact it all seemed to be filmed in a flat.
Yeah, absolutely.
It seemed to be filmed in very close quarters, very sort of confined room.
Yeah.
I did like the film, but it was very confusing for me.
It's a very good film, but it is a bit, you have to think about it a bit. I'm not absolutely sure what some of it was, but there was some great editing in it.
Yes.
There was some really good editing. I mean, really kind of really close stuff. On the whole, I would say it's a really good film, and I think this guy, like Sean Robinson, I think he's a very talented man, and if he keeps making films like this, he's definitely got a big future ahead of him. But
Also, I would like to say as well the fact that the stuff that's in this film, from what I can gather of it as well, but the parts that you don't actually see your nose and a hat
yeah,
is a very, very touching subject. And
yeah,
the fact that how close it comes to being able to see and everything like that is very, very well done.
oh yeah, yeah. Yeah,
I think,
it's a subject matter that kind of a lot of people have a lot of strong feelings about, and
yes.
it could but it's done really well, and it works really well. Even though you do feel a little bit like you're not absolutely sure what's going on in some parts of it, it still kind of like keeps you interested in it, and it
Yeah,
still sort of keeps you attached to the storyline.
yeah, it kept me guessing the whole way through, especially with the rewind of it that happens and the
Yeah,
different the way that it goes in a different path and it starts going back the normal way. It's just like it was
and
very confusing.
again, it's another one of these films that like we said before, where there's almost no dialogue,
No,
and it's kind of like it works. You don't need the dialogue because it
no.
works because it's all atmosphere.
But the thing is, even with the dialogue as well, it doesn't actually explain a lot of
No,
what's going on. It's obviously the odd little bits and stuff like that, but there's no explanation to what's going on.
no, but
But it's
it
just,
does work well.
yeah, I will say as well, as you said about this woman's acting
Yeah,
was amazing.
absolutely. Yeah,
It's a very emotional subject with what they were looking at, or who were the subjects they were looking at on it. I think that her acting was very, very well done.
it was brilliant.
Very believable.
I really, really like this film. Even as I say, even though I'm not absolutely sure what some of it what was going
Yeah,
on in a few places, I just really like it as a film. It's really well made and really well put together. I, 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 I would like to see more by him. See what
yeah,
else he's done or what else he's going to do.
yeah. I'm saying even for what I've got to say as well is this film was what just over 10 minutes long,
Yeah,
but for me, I don't know if it's because I was so engrossed in the film or what, but it didn't bother me. I was almost shocked the fact that it was only 10 minutes.
yeah, yeah. No, I know what you
It
mean.
seemed to not drag, but it pulled me in so much that when I looked at it, I was like, oh, it's only been 10 minutes. I was like,
It does feel like you've been watching it for a longer than that,
yeah,
but in
and
a good way.
yeah, it feels like you've been watching it for ages, and I think that's because of the way that it's filmed, because of the confusion and the whole not knowing what it's all about. You're thinking more about what's going on.
But I kind of think that if it had been explained more, it would have taken away from the film.
Yeah,
It wouldn't have been as good a film because
no, I agree.
it works so well the way it is.
Mm.
Absolutely.
I
So
say
yeah,
I really like this film.
I really like it as well. And I want to see more of what he has done or does do or whatever the right way of saying it is. So there you go. There's our 5 short films: Red Light, The Manor, They Hear It, The Gate, and Only Escape. As I say, I'll be posting links to all of them apart from Only Escape because I can't really do that without Sean Robinson's say so.
Yeah,
So keep an eye out for that in the future, and keep an eye out for everything by these people because I mean there isn't one of these films that isn't a good film.
no, I was just saying. I was thinking about the fact that the stuff we've done, especially like Blake Ridder stuff and the stuff we've done before and looked at. They're all good films, and the fact that with what we've looked at today, these 5 just prove the fact that yeah, they're right. Might be a few out there that are bad, but the fact that all of these
Yeah,
are different subjects, different like criteria within the horror and sci-fi, and they're all amazing films.
absolutely, and they're all definitely worth a watch. So uh, check them out and see what you think. And if you disagree with what we've been saying, let us know. Send us a message. Tell us that. we're rubbish and we should give up and go home and bury our heads in a big bucket of vanilla rhubarb.
I'd like to say that how can we go for us to go home would be not that hard as we are filming this and recording this at our homes.
You see, you have to be so literal with everything.
Or is we wouldn't have to go far to go home, is what I'm saying.
I don't know. So yes, thank you for that. Next week we will be doing something else. I will be juggling.
I might be singing the national anthem of a country, but I'm not too sure which one.
Okay, can we make it Lithuania? Or
hang on, what? That I've got to sing the national anthem in Lithuanian or the Lithuanian national anthem?
Sing the national anthem from Lithuania or Bosnia Herzegovina.
Ah, yeah. I'm not even going to try for that.
Okay. So next week we will be doing the Harlem Shuffle, I believe. What? Where are we, by the way?
I think we are doing one film which was actually, if I remember rightly from what you said to me, was actually suggested to us by Amy.
No, hang on. Are we? Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we've got a couple of short films, and we are doing a horror film suggested by the delightful Amy. Well, I say that I haven't watched the film yet.
Yeah, I was going to say, whether or not you're going to say that after you watch this film.
So, yes, next week we will be doing a horror film called Cannibals and Carpet Fitters.
Yeah.
Which may have a bit of a kind of correlation with The Hills Have Eyes, as it's about cannibals.
the only link there at all.
My stretching things there a little.
Yeah, just a bit.
It's sad.
Only link is the fact that there's cannibals in it, and then nothing else to do with each other. Yeah, that's just.
Oh, what do you want from me?
Yes, so I will say that if anyone wants to go and watch it before we do, and let us know what you think of it.
Absolutely.
Tell us whether or not we're wasting our time watching it.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, we know we're wasting our time watching it, but
no, it'll be a laugh. If nothing else, it'll be a laugh.
I'm going to make Amy watch it with her.
He said it'll be a laugh, hopefully.
I've seen the trailer to it.
I haven't even done that. I'm going to go in blind.
I'm hoping that the trailer's the bad bits.
It's going to be interesting actually because it's one of the it's another one of the rare occasions where we go both going into this completely blind because neither of us have actually seen the film.
Yeah, this is why I like it. It's the fact that she suggested it, and then when you went, yeah, let's do it. Oh, great. But yes, no, it's completely the fact that literally all I've seen is the trailer, and even that was a couple of weeks ago. So I remember it shocked. I actually remember that much of it. So yes, the fact that we are going both into this blind, and it's going to be a complete shock for both of us.
Yes. Okay. Right. Well, thank you very much. Thanks to everybody for watching, listening, juggling, eating ferrets.
Juggling, eating ferrets.
Juggling and eating ferrets. Yes, they juggle the ferrets and then they eat them.
Oh, I thought you meant juggling ferrets that are eating.
No, it's apples. Sorry, apples. I always get those two mixed up, apples and ferrets. I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, we will see you again next week. Until then, have the most wonderful possible time you can. Don't take any wooden nickels, and yeah, and all that. Okay, we'll see you again then. Bye.
Bye.
The Sciforror Film Podcast.